When I was at Comic-Con a couple of years ago, not the Cactus Jack one, the year before that, I came across a table with a bunch of guys showing a horror movie on a small video screen, but all their posters said things like, too scary for mainstream release, and stuff like that. Turns out that looking back on it, I should have grabbed something from their table because those guys were promoting the first VHS.
All we ask is that you join our cult.
A group of criminals break into a house in order to steal a single valuable VHS tape. But when they get there, they see a collection of tapes and all of them are unmarked. So they decide to collect up all of them, and some of the criminals stay behind to watch a couple of them. But what they don't know is that all of them contain stories told from one video perspective that range from supernatural horror to slasher stories, and even a few that deal with aliens. The idea is that for the most part, these stories take place through the view of one single camera, whether it be a full-on handheld or a hidden one somewhere on somebody's body. There's even one that's done through Skype. It's a clever idea, but it's one that I thought that I was gonna hate. See, I don't like too many found footage movies. There's only a few that I really liked, and I can name the ones I hate a lot easier off the top of my head. Blair Witch Project was boring as hell. Most Paranormal Activities aren't scary. Diary of the Dead is just awful. But I gotta say, for the most part, this collection is incredibly well done. And there's a couple reasons for that. One of them is that there's a lot of variation between the stories. You want a story about a bunch of teenagers getting killed in the woods? We got one for you. You want one that's about aliens hiding in somebody's house? That's done too. You want one about teenagers getting abducted by aliens in the middle of the night from the point of view of a GoPro camera attached to a dog? I don't know why you'd want to watch that, but sure, why the hell not? The other reason is that each separate video in the collection is done by a different person. The first movie was done mostly by the guys who worked on the surprisingly good You're Next, and the second one has contributions from the guys who made Blair Witch Project, The Raid, and even Hobo with a Shotgun. And thank God Almighty, there is a significant and impressive lack of distracting shaky cam. I won't go through all the segments, that would take too long, so I'll just pick out 4 of my favorites. The first part is from the first VHS, and it was called Amateur Night. It follows a group of going out to get laid guys as they put on a hidden camera in one of the guy's glasses to film them having sex. They pick up a couple of girls, one of them being a creepy girl named Lily.
I like you too.
And all I'll say about this is that the creepiness goes much further than that.
Oh, my blushing good.
And also in the first one there was a short called 10/31/98. It follows a group of guys going to a Halloween party, but they get lost and come across a real-life exorcism. They think it's all an act until the house goes all poltergeist on them, and it just follows them everywhere.
Jesus!
But my favorite 2 are in the second VHS, which is why I wanted to review both of them. The first is a short called A Ride in the Park, which is shot entirely from the point of view of a biker's GoPro camera. As he rides through the park, he's attacked by zombies, and in probably the first time I've ever seen anything attempted like this, it follows the same guy as he transforms into a zombie and attacks several people before coming to a semi-conscious state and killing himself. The entire thing looks like it was done in one shot, and it's just brilliantly done all the way through, from the idea to the actual execution. But the best, in my opinion, is called Safe Haven. And it really should have been the ending short of VHS 2. It's the one that stuck with me the most. Safe Haven features a news crew doing a story on an Indonesian cult, which grows increasingly more hostile as the film progresses. You see from several different cameras, some of which were brought in secretly to avoid missing anything the cult could be hiding from the media. And what starts off as a creepy look at a brainwashed group of people turns supernatural and disturbing really quick. It's probably my favorite short story I've ever seen put into action on film since The Crate from Creepshow. That is to say, not all the movies are good. In fact, at least one of them, the Slumber Party Alien Abduction one, was pretty awful. But if you've ever seen a movie like Creepshow, ABCs of Death, or Masters of Horror, you know that anthologies are very hit or miss. That's probably why I liked Safe Haven so much out of all the other shorts. It's the least like a found footage movie among all the other found footage films. They use multiple cameras, it jumps from area to area, but it's all done in an incredibly creative way, and it stays true to the mentality of the series. And I expected greatness from this particular director. Seriously, watch The Raid if you haven't yet. These movies are both great for a few scares, especially if you watch them in the dark. I am very easily startled in movies like this. Jump scares get me every damn time. And so do prolonged shots of really goddamn good special effects. So a lot of these shorts really freak me out in some instances because both of them are here. It's just a hotbed of creativity. For the most part, the stories are well told. Every story is shot very professionally despite the small budget, and for the most part, each movie is a great watch every time. The first film was incredibly successful. It made somewhere around $36,000 in its opening weekend at the box office, and in total made a couple of million. While the second one did $20,000 total. And that's a shame because there's a lot of potential for a film series like this, especially if they get different directors each time and just keep exploring all the different opportunities that a low-budget film series like this can offer.